A relationship is meant to be a mutual partnership, where both partners are emotionally connected, supportive, and invested in each other's well-being. However, sometimes one person may end up giving more than they receive, leading to a sense of imbalance and emotional exhaustion. When love and effort are not equally shared, the relationship can begin to feel one-sided, leaving the more invested partner questioning the connection. In such situations, it can become difficult to pinpoint exactly what's wrong, because the signs may be subtle, yet they accumulate over time. It's easy to brush off small instances where your partner doesn't show affection or doesn't seem to care as much about your needs. But when these moments are frequent, they start to reveal a deeper issue. In some cases, you may start to feel more like an option than a priority, as though your feelings, goals, and well-being are secondary to theirs. One of the biggest signs of a one-sided relationship is when your efforts always outweigh theirs. If you're the only one making an effort to reach out, plan dates, or make things work, it can quickly become exhausting. A balanced relationship requires both people to equally contribute, emotionally and physically. And when one person is left carrying the majority of the responsibility, it can cause frustration and resentment. Similarly, if your partner regularly avoids deep, meaningful conversations or dismisses your concerns, it indicates they're not emotionally invested in the relationship. Without open communication, misunderstandings and unresolved issues can lead to further emotional distance. Another significant sign of imbalance is when you feel emotionally drained instead of fulfilled after spending time with your partner. Healthy relationships should make you feel supported, loved, and valued. If your interactions leave you feeling empty or exhausted, it's a strong indication that something is wrong. Constantly feeling like you're putting in more effort or sacrificing your needs while your partner remains passive or indifferent can lead to feelings of neglect and unappreciation. In a truly loving partnership, both individuals prioritize each other's happiness, well-being, and emotional growth. However, if you constantly feel like an afterthought or that your needs are disregarded, it can be emotionally devastating. The inability of your partner to show interest in your life, offer genuine affection, or engage in deep emotional conversations is not something that should be overlooked. These signs can gradually erode the emotional connection and leave one person feeling unimportant, unnoticed, and unfulfilled. Recognizing these signs and addressing them is essential for maintaining the health of any relationship. If you find yourself experiencing these feelings regularly, it may be time to reevaluate the balance in your relationship. True love requires equal effort, respect, and emotional investment from both sides. When one person is carrying the emotional load, it's important to communicate your feelings and determine if both partners are willing to work toward a healthier, more balanced dynamic. If the imbalance continues, it may be a sign that the relationship is not as fulfilling or mutually supportive as it should be. 1. They rarely initiate conversations or plans. If your partner rarely initiates conversations or makes plans, it could be a sign that they're not as invested in the relationship as you are. In a healthy relationship, both people should naturally want to connect and spend time together. When one person consistently waits for the other to start conversations or arrange meetings, it often means they're not making the effort to nurture the bond. Over time, this imbalance can make the relationship feel one-sided. If you always have to be the one reaching out, planning dates, or keeping the connection alive, it may indicate a lack of genuine interest or emotional investment from their side. 2. Your efforts always outweigh theirs. A relationship should be a partnership where both people put in equal effort to make it work. If you constantly find yourself doing more, whether it's initiating conversations, making plans, or showing affection, it could mean your partner isn't as invested as you are. When one person gives significantly more while the other barely tries, the relationship starts feeling exhausting and unbalanced. You might excuse their behavior by thinking they're just busy or not expressive, but over time, this pattern can make you feel unappreciated and unwanted. A truly loving partner will make an effort to match your energy and show they care in return. 3. They don't prioritize your feelings or needs. In a healthy relationship, both partners consider each other's feelings and needs. If your partner consistently dismisses your emotions, ignores your concerns, or makes decisions without considering how they affect you, it's a sign they don't value your well-being. You might feel like your feelings are a burden to them rather than something they genuinely care about. Over time, this can lead to frustration and emotional exhaustion. A loving partner makes an effort to understand and support you, even in small ways. If you always feel unheard or unimportant, it may be a sign that your love story is one-sided. They avoid deep or emotional discussions. A strong relationship is built on open communication, including deep and emotional conversations. If your partner constantly avoids discussing feelings, future plans, or personal struggles, it could mean they're not fully invested. They might change the subject, give vague responses, or shut down completely when serious topics come up. This can make you feel disconnected and uncertain about where you stand. While some people struggle with expressing emotions, a caring partner will still make an effort to engage and understand your feelings. If they repeatedly avoid meaningful discussions, it may be a sign they're not emotionally committed to the relationship. 5. You feel more like an option than a priority. In a loving relationship, both partners should feel like they are a priority in each other's lives. If you constantly feel like an afterthought or that your partner's attention is divided between other things or people, it can be emotionally painful. You might notice that they only reach out when it's convenient for them or when they need something from you. This behavior suggests that they are not fully prioritizing you or the relationship. When someone truly values you, they make time for you, show interest in your life, and let you know that you're important. Feeling like an option instead of a priority often leads to feelings of neglect and emotional distance. They don't show interest in your life or goals. A partner who truly cares about you will be interested in your dreams, ambitions, and day-to-day experiences. If they never ask about your goals, personal growth, or the things that matter most to you, it can feel like they're disconnected from your life. When you share your accomplishments, struggles, or future plans, and they seem uninterested or brush it off, it's a sign that they don't value your individuality or the direction you're heading in. A supportive partner takes an active interest in your life, celebrating your successes and offering encouragement during challenges. If they're indifferent or fail to ask about what excites or concerns you, it may indicate a lack of emotional connection. 7. Affection and compliments feel forced or absent. In a healthy relationship, affection and compliments should come naturally as expressions of love and appreciation. If your partner's affection feels forced, or if compliments are rare, it may suggest that they aren't emotionally invested. You might find yourself questioning whether their compliments are sincere or just something they say out of obligation. Similarly, if physical affection like hugs, kisses, or even holding hands feels like it's being done out of duty rather than genuine desire, it can create emotional distance. A loving partner will express their feelings through both words and actions, making you feel valued and cherished without you having to prompt them. When affection feels absent or unnatural, it's a sign that the emotional connection might be lacking. 8. They dismiss your concerns about the relationship. If you express concerns about the relationship and your partner dismisses them without consideration, it can indicate a lack of respect or emotional investment. When you bring up issues, whether it's about communication, boundaries, or feelings, and they either ignore them or belittle your concerns, it makes you feel invalidated. A healthy relationship requires both partners to listen to each other and work together to resolve any conflicts. If your partner consistently brushes off your worries or tries to make you feel like you're overreacting, it shows that they don't value your perspective or the relationship enough to put in the effort to address the issues. This can lead to growing frustration and emotional distance over time. 9. You're always the one apologizing or compromising. In a balanced relationship, both partners should take responsibility for their actions and be willing to compromise when needed. However, if you find yourself constantly apologizing, even when you're not at fault, it can indicate an imbalance in the relationship. Similarly, if you're always the one making sacrifices or adjusting your needs to keep the peace, while your partner makes no effort to meet you halfway, it can feel emotionally exhausting. This one-sided dynamic can lead to feelings of resentment as it becomes clear that the relationship is not being nurtured equally. A healthy relationship involves mutual respect, where both partners are willing to own up to mistakes and find compromises together. If you're the only one doing this, it may be a sign that your partner isn't equally invested. 10. You feel emotionally drained instead of fulfilled. In a loving relationship, you should feel supported, understood, and emotionally nourished. However, if you find yourself constantly feeling drained after spending time with your partner, it may indicate an issue. Instead of feeling uplifted and happy, you might feel exhausted, overwhelmed, or neglected. This emotional drain often happens when one person is doing most of the emotional labor, whether it's keeping the conversation going, offering reassurance, or taking on more responsibility. If every interaction leaves you feeling more depleted than before, it's a sign that the relationship isn't fulfilling your emotional needs. A healthy partner will make you feel cared for and energized, not like you're constantly giving without receiving